What Walmart just did is far worse than thought. Ladies and gentlemen, it has officially begun. The downturn in the economy is accelerating, and while we've seen inflation surge, while we've seen the consumer hang in there, we've seen the housing market hang in there, the stock market hang in there, while the markets and the economy simply aren't going to be able to hold on much longer. Now that the unthinkable is happening, wages are starting to be slashed, the unemployment rate is ticking up, and with what Walmart just did, it's about to make the unemployment rate tick up much higher. So everyone, what exactly has Walmart done? But more importantly, what does this mean for you and me, the economy and the markets? Well, that's exactly what we're going to go over in today's video. So let's not waste any time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight into the news, the facts, and the data. Well, everyone, look at this. Walmart cuts starting pay for new hires who prepare online orders and stock shelves. Now, you may be thinking, well, what's so bad about that? Well, what you have to look at, everybody, is a trendsetter. Or what you have to look at is when the trend pivots. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the trend of this record low unemployment, of a lot of companies struggling to find workers. That's now starting to flip. And why this is very important for the markets is because when they start to flip and it starts to give the employer more power, we're going to see more layoffs. And if these companies aren't getting enough revenue, we're going to see even more layoffs. That's going to hurt companies' earnings, and then that's going to make their stock prices plummet, and it's going to make the economy, which I think is in a recession now, in a far deeper recession than anybody's expecting. So okay, let's dive a bit deeper into this report, everyone. So the discounter had hiked pay for those workers in March 2021 as the e-commerce sales were soaring. So this is what we're seeing across a lot of businesses right now. We saw a massive boom when all the stimulus checks were flying out right, left, front, and center. A lot of people had a lot more money than they normally did. A lot of people couldn't spend that money, so then there was pent-up demand and people went and spent like crazy once the world reopened. But now things are getting back to reality, and things are actually worse than they were before the pandemic now, because inflation has surged, people have piled on credit card debt, people's savings have been diminished. They don't have those stimulus checks anymore, and we're about to see a very painful downturn. Now, again, why this is so important is because Walmart is the nation's largest employer. So a lot of economists look to see what Walmart is doing with hires, with wages, to get more of a sense of what's going to happen with inflation and the labor market. So listen to this. New Walmart employees who join the digital or stocking teams now make about $1 an hour less than they would have if they were hired several months ago. So this is showing everyone, like I've been warning about, things are changing, things are happening, even though people say, look, Michael, you're putting out all this news, but nothing's happening. No, things are happening, but they may not happen as fast as you would like or as drastically as they do like. These can play out for years, but we're really starting to see things pick up. So Walmart, as the biggest private employer in the US with 1.6 million people, is a closely watched company for economists and industry leaders, including many who have scoured for signs of whether inflation or wages and of merchandise is cooling. It had hiked its minimum wage for store employees from $12 to $14 an hour in January as the labor market remained tight, and its pay trailed behind rivals like Amazon and Target. So now Walmart has made the first move. I think we're going to see other companies like Amazon and Target start to do the same. Now, initially, the markets would probably like this report because that means inflation may be lower than a lot of people are expecting. And yes, while that's true, the only thing that would be bullish for the markets is if inflation slowed and we had a soft landing, like what the Federal Reserve is talking about. But I think it's going to happen, everyone. We're starting to see the lag effects from these rate hikes. Now, what have I been telling you guys all along? I've been saying they're going to lift interest rates to 5%, and we won't feel the full effects of those rate hikes until 6 to 12 months after interest rates hit their peak. Now, that has not happened yet, but we're already starting to see the signs of the pain that these high interest rates are having on the economy. And while the markets are looking at this as a bullish thing, if we do have a deep downturn, a deep recession, and Walmart stock all of a sudden plummets because they do an earnings call, we see this happen during every earnings seasons. Every time they put out weak guidance or their revenue comes in lower than expected, we see their stock absolutely plummet. So we're really dancing on a nice edge here, everyone. It could go either way. The markets are hoping for the soft landing scenario, but I think I know that that's not going to be the case. While we do have softish economic growth right now and inflation is softening, I think it's about to fall off a cliff early in 2024. So everyone, what this means is you need to start preparing right now. You need to pay off debt as fast as you can. You need to find additional sources of income. You can't just rely on your one job for income, because this could be your job next. But during these hard times, this is where there is huge opportunity. If you upskill, you could get a pay rise while everybody else is getting laid off or getting pay decreases. Or it could be a great time to finally work on that business you've been thinking of doing all along. You can do that on the side of your job, especially with online these days. You can start a business with literally no capital at all. All you need is an internet connection, a laptop, a smartphone, which I'm sure most of you have. You need to start doing it now, people, because times are going to get really tough. So everyone, what do you think about this story with Walmart? Are you starting to see this with companies you're working at? Let me know down below. Now, for my loyal viewers and subscribers still watching, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.